Hey everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to PHLY Flyers, presented by our friends at Bet365. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the evening. Joining me live in the Xfinity studio, it is Philly's #1 hockey beat reporter, Charlie O'Connor, and Broad Street Hockey's own Kelly Hinkle. Gang, all here 2 days in a row, back by popular demand. We have the three of us, and this time, Brenna behind the glass, even though there's no glass, it's just the same room. But this is
all here.
We have all four. We have it's basically the Beatles. We're all together. Charlie probably hates the Beatles or something.
No, I like the Beatles.
I don't
Why
like
would
them.
I dislike the Beatles?
I don't know.
like
Kelly dislikes the Beatles.
I can see that.
I don't get it.
All right. Anyway, we have a lot to get to today. Want to talk about basically all the stuff we didn't get to yesterday because I had like a 90-minute show planned. But first, I gotta tell you, Dave P is going nuts in the chat. Well, there's like 9 messages in a row. Anyway, first I gotta tell you about the California takeover.
Yeah.
That's right. We're going to Anaheim, baby. March 17th to the 22nd. You got to come with us out to California. We have tickets to the Ducks game, tickets to the Kings game, and there will be a watch party for the San Jose game. Not only will the 4 of us be in attendance, so too will John LeClaire. You got to book this trip now. Go to allphly.com/events. Nobody does a better event than Philly Sports Trips.
It's true.
They knocked our draft party out of the park.
Sure did.
The Montreal trip was one of the best trips I have ever taken. Anaheim is going to blow it all away. 2 games, a watch party, John LeClaire, us. What else could you ask for? allphly.com/events. Okay. Jett Luchanko. Is he already back? Right before we went live, the Flyers, because I get tweet notifications for the Flyers, because, you know,
Well,
I
your
mean,
job.
you just hit a little bell.
I hear you.
Sure.
But I was like, oh, here it is. Right before we go live, it's going to be announced. But no, it was just wishing the 76ers good luck. But
I always felt bad. Like I didn't put 2 and 2 together here until maybe like about 3 or 4 years ago. But the people who have notifications set for me, like
Yeah,
the real
me.
the real diehard sickos, and I just like it'll be one of those nights where it's 2 a.m. and I'm listening to music and just drunk tweeting through it.
Oh,
Like
that's my favorite time.
That's the
Charlie's
best version
talking
of
about
Charlie.
NASCAR.
Yes.
I cannot wait to find out Charlie's thoughts on F1
so
and NASCAR
good.
right
Yeah.
now. That's my favorite stuff. But yeah, so the Flyers weren't tweeting about sending Jett Luchanko back, but he's played 4 games. He has played over 8 minutes and 50 seconds one time in those 4 games. He has 1 shot on net in 2 attempts. He's going back soon, right? Like maybe they give him the full 9. Maybe they try to extend this thing as we talked about, like keep their hands on him as long as possible. He'll get to practice with the NHL team, all that stuff. But like, they're not playing him.
you would assume that he's going to go back at some point. And we can talk about the logistics of that, how we think it might play out. I think the more intriguing question here, though, is whether we're okay with how he's being used or whether we think that he should be given a bigger opportunity, just how we feel about the whole situation. Because, yeah, I mean, if he's getting under 10 minutes a night on the 4th line when he plays, presumably at some point they're going to be like, yeah, that's not the right way to develop him. He's got to go back. It's a much more interesting question to me as to whether we are annoyed by the way he's being used.
And this is, I wanted to point this out because Charlie will get into some advanced numbers and we'll talk about the time on ice and all that. But you go to his hockey reference page and the first like 6 columns are identical in his 2 seasons as a professional hockey player, which I just find hilarious. 4 games played in each of the seasons, no goals, no assists, no points, -3, 2 penalty minutes. Then there, shots on goals the first time there's like a deviation. But I found it very, very funny, the symmetry, and I wanted to point that out.
It's funny.
Because the counting stats exactly the same, but the usage has been considerably different. And that's, I guess, in terms of the usage and are we okay with it and getting sent back. Based on how they've used him and what we saw in camp in the preseason, was there ever any other possible outcome than he eventually goes back to the OHL? The way they're using him does not feel as if this was anything but, yeah, let's get him in for a few games. Like, that's just what it seems like right now. And listen, he's played in 4 of the 6. Cool. They're not finding the extra shifts like we talked about. Like, okay, he can be the 4C, but get him out there on the penalty kill. Maybe get him on power play too. Bump him up in the lineup, like, when there's a fighting major for Nick Delorier. Now, he didn't play in the Delorier game, but just saying, like Grebenkin the other day has that fighting major. And I don't think they really were like, let's get Luchanko a few extra shifts, even though one of his line mates is even though one of his line mates is going to be out for next 17 minutes.
It doesn't seem like it's priority.
It doesn't seem as if it's a priority. Perfect. To get him out there the way we talked. Okay, if he is the 4C, this is how they need to do it. And so it kind of feels, does it feel to you as if they've even given him a chance to earn more than a tryout?
No. I mean, in hindsight, I do think that this was the inevitable conclusion to his little stint this year because, as you said, there doesn't seem to be a priority placed on him getting minutes. And I think this kind of goes back to what we talked about with Michkov yesterday. Like, I don't want to take it all the way back to that. But Rick Tocchet has decided that his focus is winning hockey games. It's not developing players. So he doesn't care if Jett Luchanko gets a lot of minutes. He cares if his hockey team wins, and he clearly doesn't think that Jett's ready to be a contributing factor to this team winning hockey games.
Yeah, I think this situation, because we kind of sparred a little bit yesterday about the Michkov one. I think this situation is a lot more, like, I'm much more open to your criticism of Tocchet's handling of Luchanko as opposed to how open I am to the serious criticism about the Michkov stuff.
Fine.
Because the Luchanko stuff, like, it does feel like, what would you say you do here kind of vibes at the moment. Yes, he's getting in some games. And he's getting to spend time around the team. He's getting to practice. He's getting to learn from the coaching staff. He's getting their direct feedback rather than, Riley Armstrong having a call with him once a week and things like that. And I'm sure that helps to a degree. But it sure would be nice, and we talked about this last week, it would be nice if before they send him back, they would just give him one game.
Yes.
Just like one game, getting
Real
16 minutes with scoring wingers and see what he can do. Because until then, you're just left with watching this usage and being like, well, what can he even do?
Exactly.
What can he actually even do?
Like, how is he supposed to prove that he can stay here the way that they're using him now?
And, like, to the point of yesterday's argument, like, about Michkov, where I was kind of in the middle, I think it's a lot on Mish to, like, man, you're supposed to be the star of the team. Maybe it's not fair to ask that of a 20-year-old, but plenty of 20-year-olds that have all-star potential are all-stars in that time. It's kind of on him. Luchanko, yeah, you would want a first-round pick who you've now, who's made the team out of camp 2 years in a row to show you a little more. And, like, yeah, we have to put him up in the lineup because he's earned it. But I feel like it's just, that was never realistic, especially in the usage and everything. Like, no, you got to just see what happens if you're going to try to keep him around and everything. And we're in a situation now where I'm looking at it and going, if he played for London, does he make this team?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think he does. What I will say, though, in the Flyers' defense, and I'm not really defending them.
I don't think they're doing anything terrible here.
I don't think this was a case of they put him on the team knowing that this is how he was going to be used. I don't think that they're like, yeah, we'll keep him up the team and he'll get 8 minutes tonight, and that's exactly our plan. I really think
You mean like Briere and
like
the front office, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
even Rick Tocchet for that matter. I don't think Rick Tocchet came into the season being like, well, I'm just never going to play this kid because I want to win. I really think from the start they were just taking this day by day.
Yeah.
It was very much we'll keep him with the team and then let's see what happens. And had a top 9 forward gotten hurt, had Sean Couturier looked terrible to start the year rather than really good, had Trevor Zegras completely flopped, and then you're scratching him after 4 games because he's a mess. Like, had those things happen, maybe Jett does get a look in the top 9, but none of that has happened. Everyone has stayed healthy. Jett hasn't, like, blown the doors off in any of his shifts. Now, it's a fair point to say, like, well, what do you expect? He's not getting many minutes. But there is a world where in 8 minutes, maybe he does score 2 goals. And then you're like, well, crap. It's like Nikita Grebenkin, where Grebenkin's doing things. And then you're like, well, we got to give this guy more minutes. I don't think Jett's been bad. but he hasn't done anything in his minutes to make me be like, it is a travesty that he's not getting more. I want to see him. I want to see him get more minutes because I want to see the kid.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's blowing the doors off either.
No,
and I think
not.
like that maybe was part of it. It's like, oh, we'll keep him. And if he blows the doors off, then maybe we'll think about keeping him longer. He hasn't. Part of that is situational. But part of that is I really do think they were taking this day by day from the start.
So he's played 4, which means they have 5 more games to play with. They can extend this thing as long as they want. If he misses 1 more game this month, he can play into November. This is what I'm looking at. Now, this is just a stupid idea that I have, so bear with me.
I love those.
Sean Couturier is, in hockey terms, old.
Sure.
He has also played well, but not the youngest guy.
No.
We have a back-to-back November 1st and 2nd. Home against the Leafs, home against the Flames. Let's rest Coots Sunday, November 2nd against the Flames. Put Luchanko between Tippett and Konechny. Have the speed chaos line. See how it goes. You are going to beat the Flames. They stink, hopefully. You can't say they're going to beat anybody. It's, they're the Flyers and it's hockey. But like, that's a game right there. It's not like there's a huge matchup issue that you got to, I don't know, man. What, we going to do this against Vegas? Like, that's not what we're looking at here.
Yeah.
I want to see it. I want to see him get that one opportunity. That would potentially be game 9. Let's see how it goes.
I would love that.
Let's see how it goes.
That would be fun as well.
I think that would be a lot. They're not going to sit Couturier just for funsies.
I don't think they're going to do it.
That's
but
not
it would be fun.
I just think it's a good idea. But we know they listen. So
Hey.
let Bill coach the team.
Give it a shot.
Let Bill coach the team one time. See what happens.
I don't think this is going to hurt him. I think that's the other thing that's
yeah.
probably driving their decision is like they're looking at it as this isn't going to hurt his development. They think it helps to have him around and learning from the coaches directly and being around Tocchet and being around the boys and getting integrated to the NHL in that sense and developing because, and as you mentioned, Guelph ain't that good. Now they're not as bad as you might think. It seems like they're a bit better this year.
What if he's the problem?
But they're not. Yeah, it's obviously Jett Luchanko's fault. I think
stripped.
Exactly.
Stripped to the sea.
But I think they look at it as it's not hurting him. Eventually, we're probably going to send him back, but we do think there's value in him being around, even if he's only getting 8 minutes a night. It's frustrating. It's not how I would do it, but I don't think it's hurting him overall. So if they want to play this game and give him a couple more games before sending him back, like, sure, do what you want.
Yeah, I hope they extend it the full 9 this time, like last year. And last year he was playing 5 more minutes a game when he was getting in there. He was like over 14 minutes. He's under 10 here. Like, I would like to see him get all 9 and give himself the opportunity. I guess the other given the preseason he had, are we shocked at all that this is what we're getting out of him?
No, because he wasn't standout in preseason. He had some good shifts. He had some decent games, but it wasn't, oh my God, he needs to be on this team. So no, I don't think it's a major surprise. The other factor here, and look, I don't want to go the appeal to authority route because often authority is wrong, but it does seem like this is kind of becoming a thing in the NHL. Like Nashville kept Brady Martin and they just sent him back. You have like Seattle played 5-6 games before they gave Berkeley Catton 1. He was just like made the team and was just sitting for the first 2 weeks of the year. Now that doesn't mean this is a smart way to develop young guys, but it does seem like it's something that more teams are doing. Like more teams are taking this like slow play, the 18, 19-year-olds in the NHL for a few weeks and then send them back thing.
I'll tell you, when I saw it was like, oh yeah, Berkeley Catton's making his debut. It's like, but
then why is he here?
Did they have like a delay to the season?
Yeah, exactly.
What happened? Why didn't he? What are you doing? Like and then like he comes in and they finally play him, and I was very confused by it. But yeah, it does seem it's not the make it or don't. The 9-game tryout is actually a tryout. It's like, well, we get to mess with it. Why not? Like, it's basically free player. Yeah. Like, you know what? We get a free roster spot for a couple of weeks. We're going to use it. And then we can figure something out from there. And I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world. I don't think this is hurting his development playing in a league he clearly isn't ready to like
excel
stand out in.
But he can hold his own. I don't think he's getting killed.
I'll tell you what's encouraging. The one stat that is better than last year's, he's over 52% in the faceoff circle. Now, he hasn't taken a ton, but the fact that a 19-year-old is over 52% tells me he can hold his own physically in this league and can be, at the very least, a good role player. With his speed and work ethic, he's going to be, and like, this isn't the most exciting thing, but like, he's basically already Ryan Poehling. Like, give him the minutes, give him the opportunity on the PK and stuff.
Probably.
He's basically already Ryan Poehling. You want a higher ceiling than that.
I'm gonna need more.
But like, but that's 24-year-old Jett
I
Luchanko
understand.
that I need the higher ceiling on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not 19-year-old Luchanko, who we were
Fair.
like, yeah, I guess he'll make the team, but he hasn't shocked us yet. I'm not discouraged. I guess that's where I am. It's all right. Wanted to see more. Hope they keep him around a little longer, but I am not discouraged, and I won't be when we get the eventual tweet or press release. Hey, Jett's going back to the OHL.
No.
It'll make sense. And you mentioned about the growth in faceoffs. It might not be growth. It might just be a small sample. But hey, he's not getting killed as a 19-year-old in faceoffs. Like, we're watching Trevor Zegras, who's been playing center for multiple seasons in the NHL, still getting killed in
He's
faceoffs.
10% below that.
Yeah,
Like,
and Jett's winning more than Zegras is, at least on average. That's cool. The one thing that is a little bit, not concerning, but at least like disappointing, is that he's shooting less now than he did last year
all right,
when he had his NHL look.
I want to take this break and come back, finish the Luchanko thing,
Okay.
and talk about the shot rate and what that actually might mean.
Okay.
But first, I got to tell you about our presenting sponsor. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. From their 90 million users worldwide to their almost 800,000 live stream events each year, and the early payout offers across the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, pro, and college football. You know I love that early payout. Your team goes up by 3 goals. You have them on the money line, or you have them as part of a parlay. Bang! You're already a winner. It's simply awesome. That's why we say it's never ordinary at Bet365. And we have breaking news from our friends at Bet365. New customers now get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5, win or lose. All you got to do is sign up, use the code PHLY365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $200 in bonus bets, whether your initial bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in PA. If you or someone who knows a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And why don't I now tell you about Crooked Tea? Because y'all remember when BG strip sacked the GOAT for the first Philly Super Bowl ever? Well, now BG is bringing us his Crooked Tea strip sack pack so we can savor the flavor all over again. What is the strip sack pack? Well, it's big, it's heavy, and it's juicy. It's the kind of pack you want to show off, and you already know. Crooked Tea is 0 sugar and all flavor, and the strip sack pack is stuffed with 24 cans, plus collectible trading cards, some even signed by BG himself. Every case is packing heat from the fridge to the tailgate. This is the one sack you're going to be proud to display, so grab yours today at a store near you or check them out on GoPuff. And you can also check them out locally. Let's hear some of the bars that are already carrying Crooked Tea. Sports and Social in Allentown, Garage Fishtown, City Tap in Logan Square, and Wicked Wolf on Chestnut. Go check them out for the game today or a night out, and tell them that PHLY Sports sent you. Maybe go out for the Sixers tonight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sixers opening night.
All right. The Luchanko shot rate stuff, it's almost like...
Again, we're dealing with very small samples here, but it bashes the eye test too.
The sample is he doesn't shoot
Never.
ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
And he got in game 4 of this season, his 4th, the Flyers 6th, but his 4th game,
Sure.
his first shot on goal.
I celebrated audibly.
To that point, the only other players without a shot on goal were Ersson and Vladar.
Beautiful.
Like that's a little like what it's Ben Simmons-ish a little, and no, like it's a joke and everything, but the idea that you have a guy who, okay, we know he's a good playmaker, he's got the speed. The speed is going to force teams to back off of him. That's just going to happen.
It's true.
If he's resistant to shoot ever, then it's basically, yeah, we're going to use 5 guys to defend your other 4, and go ahead, take a shot. We know you don't want to. I realize basketball is not hockey, but that is pretty much what could happen if he just never freaking shoots. I'm glad that he did. He
Yeah.
finally got one on.
It was nice.
He now has 2 attempts. He has 1 on net, but he was shooting more last year by a pretty wide margin.
Yeah, and he still wasn't shooting enough.
Yeah, he wasn't
No.
Like
shooting,
looking
but,
at
like,
these numbers, I mean, 4.18 shots on goal per 60. That's not good. 9.76 attempts per 60, not good. But it's better than 1.69 shots on goal per 60 and 3.38 attempts per 60, where that essentially means he's never shooting. Now, look, you made the basketball comparison, and it's not an apples to apples thing because I think like
Well, no one plays man defense except Carolina.
exactly. And basketball, like you have a point guard who,
Yeah.
you know, the point guard needs to at least like have the threat of shooting, or else like he has to be the single greatest passer in history. When you're in the offensive zone and you're cycling, like I don't think teams are just going to like give him a shot. I think what it probably hurts him the most in is rushes. Is the rush game, odd man rushes. Like if it's a 2-on-1 and you're the defenseman and Jett Luchanko is one of the 2 guys, like why would you even worry about him shooting? You're just going to play the pass because you know that's all he's going to do. And defensemen are smart. Like they're going to figure that out quick.
Yeah, and we've talked about like their defensive zone strategy, the Flyers. Like, okay, this year it's not just take the freaking shot away, block it at all costs. Let the goalie defend half the net, take the passing option away, be on the back door for the rebound. That's real easy to do when the dude that has the puck ain't gonna shoot. Like you've made the job of the defenseman incredibly simple.
What do you think this is about? Like, because obviously last year wasn't great, but we're at less than half this season. Do you think it's like a confidence thing? Do you think he's like afraid that he is going to make a mistake and then, you know, he's out of the like I just there has to be something behind it, I would think.
It's wild because I know from talking to Rick Tocchet that like the only thing Rick Tocchet is telling Jett Luchanko right now is shoot the damn puck.
Right.
Like the coach is pulling his hair out and he doesn't even have any hair to pull out, and he's pulling his hair out about this kid not shooting. So it's not like he's not being told to shoot the puck. Some of it's stylistic. Jett Luchanko, even if and when he becomes a quality NHL player, fans are always going to be frustrated that he passes the puck too much because fans love when players shoot, and Jett's always going to be a pass first guy. But you can't be this pass first. Like there's being pass first and there's pass only. And right now he is pass only.
Yeah.
It's not that he's not being told to shoot. It has to probably be a combination of number 1, he likes to pass. Number 2, it's probably just in his head a little bit. Like now he has the puck and instead of thinking, like instead of just doing, he's thinking when he has the puck and he's like, well, I should shoot. And then he doesn't see, he's, oh, what do I do? What do I do? I guess I'll just pass because what else am I going to do? That's what I'm good at. I have to think it's probably in his head a little bit and that's what's driving it. But he's going to have to learn how to shoot at least sometimes.
There's nothing worse than when these dudes start thinking. Like,
yeah, don't think.
Just go out there and do that. Do hockey.
Just do hockey.
Yeah.
All right. Do that hockey. That is the best advice we can give you, Jett. All right.
Yes.
It is now time for the big deal presented by Cherry Hill Kia. Something that was a real big deal the other night. 2 power play goals in one game. I
didn't know it was allowed.
Barely aware that was well within the rules.
I know.
Listen, I think this power play is obviously still a work in progress, but I have a reason, and it is a math-based reason. Once again, I didn't invent math. I'm just using it. Thank you, Ramada John. I still don't really know who that is. The power play with their 2 power play goals on Monday is 3 for 19, 15.8%. Not great.
It's getting up.
But they have also, I mean, it's above 10. That's good. They have also scored on a delayed penalty. So let's call it a pretty nice 4 for 20.
Hey.
4 for 20 is 1 for 5. 20%. They've done it. They are 20% power play. Rick Tocchet, Jack Adams.
William, I'm just impressed that you know how to do math.
There
was some math done there.
I asked ChatGPT. I don't know how to use ChatGPT
He
either.
reduced a fraction.
Yeah, I remember.
Shocking.
I was good at the symmetry stuff where you just had to like do that.
Okay.
I was good at that because it was like visual.
Okay.
Yeah, when you have to like start like the stat stuff, that's when I gave up.
Right.
Yeah.
I regret to inform the audience, you're very smart.
Yeah. But they've broken 20%, and that is, I mean, by my math, not by real math.
I think it counts.
Yeah, I'm gonna count it because they scored.
Delayed
and
penalties are power play.
Yeah. It was 6-on-5. I'm going to count it because they scored and they normally don't. But listen, obviously it's going to be a little while before we can go, oh yeah, they have a good power play. Like, and 20 is the bare freaking minimum in this league now. It used to be, oh yeah, 1 for 5. Cool. Now it's 1 for 5. All right, you don't stink.
Yeah.
You know, that's basically the line
You
now.
rank like 20th.
I think 27 teams were at like 17.5 or better last year. So like you're the worst if you're below that.
Yeah.
And they were.
Yeah, and they absolutely freaking were. Now, the one thing I will point out, Cam York, 3 assists in the game, 2 on the power play. We think that's pretty much his job now. I mean, yeah, no, it might change throughout the year, but it was like, will it be Sanheim? Will it be York? Then York gets hurt, and it was like, yeah, it's probably his in preseason, but then Sanheim takes over. Feels like, at least for the short term, York's the guy on the power play.
Well, he looks good on it.
He does look very good.
So I don't think you have a choice but to keep giving him reps when, hey, right now that's, you might call it power play 2 because it doesn't have Matvei Michkov or Travis Konechny on it. But hey, it's looking more like a power play 1 thus far this season. That's looking like the more effective unit. And York looks good on it. Number 2, and this is an important point to make about Sanheim. Like, Sanheim's getting 30 minutes a night even without power play time. Like, you don't want to pump more minutes onto the guy.
You do need to at some point rein it in with him. And it's, well, you know, we do have other guys who might be better than you at this, or at least as good. So like,
Why don't you take 1 rest?
take a couple minutes off. This is a good opportunity for you to sit for 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It might be the only time in the game where he's on the bench for 2 consecutive minutes.
Yeah.
Like, you get a couple stoppages in there, it could be 3.5, 4 minutes, you know? But I am, at least, I guess, looking forward to seeing if they can build from here. Now, it was 1 game. They did, like, have a couple times last year 2 power play goals. I am talking about 2 power play goals in 1 game like it's some tremendous feat.
It is
But
incredible.
This team.
It does feel like it is a big breakthrough for them. Now, last year, they did do it 5 times, 2 in October, 2 in January, 1 in March. The year prior, 4 times, 5 times in 2022-23, 3 in 2021-22. They have not had a 3 power play goal game since the 2019-20 season. They did it in December, and they did it on March 1st, 2020 at the Rangers. That is the last time they scored 3 power play goals in a game.
And it was like weeks later
And it was
that the entire world
10 days later,
shut down.
the season was ended. Which
telling you, man.
I think there's probably some correlation, but
causation.
I'm hoping we can get 1 3 power play goal game for the first time in 6 seasons. Predictions. Right now, I want everyone on the record. Do they have a 3 power play goal game this year?
Yes.
No.
I mean,
He
no
has
is the
little
safe
faith.
bet.
Go with
No
no.
is the safe
I
bet.
think they're going to be pretty good on the power play this year. I do think they've legitimately improved it. It's hard to score 3 goals in a game on the power play.
Pretty
You
good.
get a lot of power plays.
Pretty good by like league standards or their own we need to be better standards.
Let's say by their own, we need to be better standards. I
agree. I
think
agree.
they get to 20. I think they're around 20.
You think they could be at around 20?
they're around
Listen,
20 at the end
if
of the
they are 1 for 5 for the season,
We should have
like,
a party at the end
that
of the year.
is basically their Stanley Cup this year.
A power
If they have
play
a
party.
if they have a team save percentage over 900 and a 20% or better power play, they're a wild card team.
They might be.
You're not wrong.
They might be.
We've been saying it for 3 years,
He
you
stinks.
know? Like, it could actually work out that way. But the power play scoring twice in a game, that is the Cherry Hill Kia big deal. Check out KiaofCherryHill.com. All right. We're actually on time, so let's hit the next break, and then we will go on to talk about a few other things with the rest of the show. All right, now I have to tell you about our friends at Cherry Hill Kia, because if you're looking for the dealership with the most inventory and super low lease payments in the Philly area, Kia of Cherry Hill and KiaofCherryHill.com is the place to go. Choose from over 450 new Kias, including Tellurides, Sportages, K5s, Carnivals, Celtos, and Souls. And I got to tell you, it is not a shock to me that Kia is the hottest automotive brand in the country, and it's for this very simple reason. 7 of their models received 2025 Car and Driver Editor's Choice Awards. That's ridiculous considering there are more than 450 models tested and only 20 models industry-wide received the award. 7 of the 20 total were Kias. Combine that with the best warranty in the automotive business, 10 years, 100,000-mile powertrain, and 5 years, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper, and it's just crazy that you would go to anywhere else but Kia of Cherry Hill. So stop in today and tell them PHLY sent you and receive up to $3,000 over Kelly Blue Book trade-in value following a trade appraisal. I know people buy Kias elsewhere. I just don't know why. Drive home in your new Kia today. Just minutes from all. Bridges are available online 24/7 at kiaofcherryhill.com. And now I have to tell you about our friends at Monarch Money, because Monarch Money has helped me get my it's really just helped me get my stuff together. Quite honestly, it's not just another budgeting app. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you, and Monarch does the heavy lifting. You can link all your accounts in minutes, get clear data visuals, smart categorization of your spending, and real control over your money. And if you're not on top of your money, you could be missing chances to save even more, invest smarter, or hit your personal financial goals. Monarch helps you stay informed so there's nothing that slips through the cracks. Like I said, it's not just another finance app. It's a tool real professionals and experts actually use and love. And that's why it was named the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code PHLY at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHLY.
All right, before we get back going, we're not even at 100 likes yet. We're at 97. I want this to be at 200 by the end of the show. We need to blast past 100, though. That's just embarrassing.
What are we doing?
Boost
Rookie
those
numbers.
We might just end the show out of sheer disappointment in
You've
all of
upset
you.
Bill.
And I don't mean for today. I mean forever. No, I can't do that. I need this job badly. So that's the we talked about the power play. We talked about Luchanko. Won I don't know if we can call it a pleasant surprise. They had one power play going 5 games before the other night, but won a work in progress, pleasant surprise. The other kind of a wait and see situation. Like, I don't know, Jett. I don't think he's staying. Maybe he gets a good opportunity, but I do just hope he gets the one. But now I want to talk about someone who's been here a while and honestly has been on an upward trajectory for the last few years. It is Travis Sanheim. You know, Ron Hextall's very first draft pick.
That's still crazy.
It's wild. And now he's an assistant captain. He could very well be like an Olympian and an Olympic medalist, maybe even an Olympic gold medalist in a few months. The other night, he recorded, I think, one of his goals or an assist, and it like started moving him up the franchise rankings. And after thinking about it, like, he's actually been here a long, long time. And it's not as if the Flyers history is flush with franchise defensemen.
Particularly not ones that were drafted and developed by the team.
Like, been here a long guys that stayed here a long freaking time. So I wanted to take a little look at where he ranks among some different statistics in Flyers history. I thought that this would be just an interesting little exercise here. First one I wanted to check out was games played, because he sits at 585 games played in his career. He just passed Wayne Simmons for 26th overall, and he's averaged 81 games over the last 4 seasons. If he plays 81 games this year, he'll be at 660 for his career, one behind Lawton for 14th. In terms of defensemen, he's 7th among defensemen all time in games played, and like he's got a lot of time left on his contract. He's 9 behind Mark Howell for 6th. He's 168 behind Chris Therien. Sanheim, unless like something happens, is going to be the franchise leader in games played by a D-man in a short period of time.
Yeah. I'm lucky that I don't believe in jinxes because that makes me feel not bad about saying this. But it's worth pointing out just how good Travis Sanheim has been at staying healthy. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a guy, 82 games last year, 81 games, 81 games, 80 games. That's what? 4 games missed in 3 seasons. Then the season before that, 55 games, you might look at that and be like, oh, he missed the time. No, that was
He
the
missed
season.
one.
That was the season where they played 56 games.
Yeah.
Season before that, 69 games. Nice. Again, oh, he missed time? No.
No.
That was the season where there were 69
They
games.
played 69 games.
And then the
yeah.
season before that, 82. Like, it's wild that he's missed that little time. It's wild that he's been able to stay healthy this efficiently throughout his entire NHL career.
5 games in 6 years or something.
crazy.
Is that what he's missed?
So maybe like sometimes it's good if not everyone is big boy smash. You know what I mean?
And he plays more physical now.
He does, yeah.
He's not.
Oh.
He's never going to be the kind of guy
He's
who's
not
going to be
Chris
throwing
Paul.
the big hits. But he definitely plays more physical now than he played 5-6 years ago.
Those cross checks he got called for the other night, Charlie. Take that penalty every single game. I don't care if you serve a cross checking penalty like that every single game. I was very pleased.
I don't usually get annoyed with penalties. I was extremely annoyed by that because my point is, was he cross-checking him? Of course he was. You could call that penalty
every single
shift.
Play.
Like, that is just what defensemen do.
Yeah.
That was just some official just decided, like, oh, I need to hit my quota for the game.
It was that and the Luchanko hold where it was like, yeah, he had one hand on the stick, but he wasn't using the free hand. Like, he never actually grabbed him. It was like a preemptive penalty. Like, I know what he's going to do. And then he never actually did it. The officiating has been odd this year in terms of what they've let go and what they've actually called,
It's called
but
game
whatever.
management, boys, look it up.
Yeah. It's like, listen, we could, in every sport, I just think sports weren't meant to be watched in HD or in slow motion or anything.
That is true.
And now that
Yeah.
we're here, it's like, you see everything. And they're fast and the refs let a lot of things go.
Yeah.
You know? But that was, that's something that just kind of happens. It was like 1 or 2 too many. That was the thing. It was like 4 or 5 like machine gun in a row. And it was like, you needed to take a break. You needed to go do something else for a second and then come back to 2. But fine, whatever.
So here's my question, and I'll open this up to just general discussion about Travis Sanheim. How much do you guys think that him getting on Team Canada for 4 Nations and being one of the, I wouldn't say favorites, but he's very much a likely starter for Canada in the Olympics. How much of that do you think has changed the perception from Flyers fans of Travis Sanheim's quality? Because I feel like I get significantly fewer people complaining about him in my mentions now, and I wonder if it's because he went on Team Canada, so it's like, well, they think he's good, so I guess he must be good.
Honestly, you mentioned the appeal to authority. And like, listen, under John Tortorella, we saw him take steps. It's not
Sure.
It's another one of these, well, he was always this good. No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
No,
He's
he
gotten
wasn't.
better.
Like, he's gotten better.
Yeah.
And so, like, we're always slow to react to things like that. We
Fair.
have an opinion about a guy, and that's the truth until proven otherwise. But I do, there is a part of me, at least, that's like, I have to defer to them a little bit. Like, I can't be like, no, actually, I don't think he's that good at all. And he's playing for the Olympic team, and it's not a Chris Kunitz situation.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as if
He's not playing for Team Latvia.
yeah, like, no, and that's the other thing. Like,
Germany.
yeah, like Rodrigo Abels is going to make the Olympics because who else is?
Right.
It's Canada.
Yeah.
Like, I do have to take that into account a little. Like, do I think he's the #1 defenseman on a Stanley Cup team? No. But also,
He could be the
he's a really nice player.
Yeah.
He's how am I going to argue with the guy who's likely to be a gold medalist in a few months? And again, yeah, like, Crosby's buddy makes it. We don't have a Crosby advocating for Travis Sanheim.
Fair.
He is making it on merit.
Yeah, it's true. I think he's going to benefit from the Tocchet impact.
Now, yeah.
Because Tocchet's an assistant coach.
Yeah.
That said, he made 4 Nations before Rick Tocchet was assistant
Yes,
coach.
exactly.
If anything, John Tortorella, if John Tortorella thinks Travis Sanheim's good, it's in his interest as assistant for Team USA to be like, nah, he sucks. Don't put him on the team.
Nah, bad attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, I would wager that it's just that he's been so much better. Like, I've always thought that he was a good defenseman. He's obviously been better the last couple of years than he was in the past. And I think that's probably what's doing it for Flyers fans. I think outside of the Flyers sphere, the Canada stuff is definitely boosting his image a bit. Like, he's in that commercial now, which as soon as I saw that, I was like, they put Travis Sanheim in a commercial?
And he can make jokes.
Yeah, he's pretty good in it.
Yeah, he's good.
But yeah, I think it's just, he's good. And he's our #1 defenseman, and he plays half the game every night. And I think it would be hard if you're a sicko like us and you're watching every single one of these games. I don't know how you could come away from them thinking anything other than, hey, you know what? Travis Sanheim's pretty good.
So I'm going to take a look at some of these other franchise ranks. We did get, but he's tied with Joe Watson for 5th by a Flyers D-man all time. He's 2 away from 4th. And then like the top 3 are the top 3. Tiemann 232, Desjardins 303, Howe 342. Like, yeah, a while away from those guys. And those are literally the guys who lead in every, like,
Yeah.
it's going to be tough to catch them just because they're the only offensive defensemen we've ever had for any length of time in the history of this organization.
Yeah.
So it's that, but it's still like, okay, so he's going to be 4th this week.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like has a chance to move up again, a long contract with plenty of time remaining, has a chance to make his way through.
Yeah, and one thing this list also shows you, it speaks to something I said a few minutes ago, how bad this organization has been at drafting and developing their own defensemen. Like Mark Howe, Mark Howe, they got him from elsewhere.
Yeah.
Eric Desjardins, that was a trade. Kimo Tiemann, and they signed him. Bladen was a drafted guy. So obviously, Joe Watson is Joe Watson. He's a franchise legend. Shane Gostisbehere was drafted and developed, and then they kicked him out of town.
Yeah,
But-
he'd be way higher if they kept him.
Yeah, certainly would be.
in first place.
Yeah.
But my point is that like Travis Sanheim is a rarity in this franchise in that he is a successful, drafted, developed, and kept defenseman.
I realize we are 2 GMs removed now from the guy who actually drafted him. But how much do you think that weighs into like treatment or just the idea like this is a guy we want to keep around because we want to have these dudes who like we've invested all this time in? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that kind of means something, especially when you look at that list and it's, oh yeah, no one. No one on the list was like spent their whole career here, or, you know, like we actually brought them along the whole way. Like, do you think that means something to this front office? Like, he signed long term, so it's not like they can get rid of him if they wanted to. But I feel like they don't really want to.
No, they definitely do not want to get rid of Travis Sanheim. Obviously, they almost did. You know, because he didn't click with Tortorella that first year. They almost trade him. Torrey Krug nixes the deal.
Thank you, Kevin
And then
Hayes.
the very next year, Sanheim takes that leap. And part of it probably was a little bit of FU to the Flyers. Like, I'll show you that you don't want to trade me. Sanheim always wanted to stay. I thought that contract at the time was extremely dumb.
Yeah.
Because it's an organization that at the time very much needed to rebuild.
And we knew that we were firing the guy that gave him the contract.
Yeah, and they let
Why are you letting him do
Fletcher
anything?
give him this long-term deal when it's like, no, he should be the guy you trade. In retrospect, like, you know, Chuck Fletcher kind of mistaked his way into a good contract.
Sometimes you do a dumb thing that works out.
Yeah.
I like the thought process behind that long-term contract was not smart.
No.
But it ended up working out. And that's what I wanted. The next thing with points, 217. He's tied with Ivan Provorov for 6th. Gostisbehere is at 219. Tom Bladen is at 230. Tiemann 270. Desjardins 396 and Howe 480. That's your top 5.
wild.
Yeah, he's not catching out.
Yeah, he's gonna need to play 2 careers to do that. But you look right there. He's tied with Ivan Provorov. Do we ever we never ever get this version of Travis Sanheim? Is the combination of keeping Sanheim, although it was, you know, really Torrey Krug that kept Travis Sanheim, and moving on from Provorov, is that like the best decision whatever the previous regime was made?
I mean,
I guess it was Briere.
Danny made the trade.
Briere made the trade, and it was still Torts, but yeah, like so far, is that their best decision?
we absolutely would not have this version of Travis Sanheim if Ivan Provorov
No.
was still here.
No.
No chance whatsoever. So in terms of Travis Sanheim's development into this version of himself, yeah, it was definitely the best move that they could have made. I mean, that move was good for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
The return was great. He sucked in the locker room. He wasn't very good. All the things. Like, there was a great trade top to
Somehow
bottom.
just got $9 million.
Yeah, but also we got to see Travis Sanheim become the guy rather than being the guy behind the guy. And it's for the betterment of the team. Like, this version of Travis Sanheim is better than what we ever got from Ivan Provorov.
I'd like to point out, I'm going to give Kelly Hinkle her props. Kelly Hinkle, for years, before they even traded Ivan Provorov, swore Travis Sanheim was the better defenseman. I believe she has been proven right.
On BSH Radio 150 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is like dating back to like 2019 you were saying this.
The last
And you're
time,
proven right.
Again, I'm right in my analysis.
since the last time the Flyers scored 3 power play goals in a game.
Exactly. I've been
Kelly
saying
has been
it.
saying this.
Every now and again, I get one, fam.
And finally, goals, 55. Again, don't think of him as a big goal total guy. 8th all-time by a Flyers defenseman. He's 1 behind Bob Daly. 5 more goals puts him at 60, tied with Shane Gostisbehere for 5th. By the end of this season, he is going to be like 4th or 5th in everything for Flyers defensemen.
Yeah.
Like total minutes is tough because that hasn't been like that only started being a stat in like 98 or 99. But like goals, assists, points, and games, he's going to be top 4 or 5 in literally everything. He's going to be the leader in games, definitely by the time his contract expires.
Yeah.
Like, what a freaking awesome draft pick that honestly, even just a couple of years ago, we were like, yeah, all right, he's all right.
Yeah, this is one of those things like I feel like Couturier and Sanheim are the 2 big ones. Konechny to a degree, but I don't know. I just have different feelings about Couturier and Sanheim in this regard. It's these guys where it's like, man, I really, really hope that in the next like 3, 4, 5 years, this team gets good because they are going to be like their tenures as Flyers will be remembered so differently.
Oh my God.
If this team like gets to a cup final in like 4 years and they are the elder statesmen on a true contender, suddenly they're going to be viewed like, and I don't want to make
Pat Burrell.
Yeah, they're going to be like Pat Burrell type.
Suck it out.
Exactly.
Well, you know,
they made it through the tough times.
Didn't have the best relationship with the fans. There are times we booed them.
Yeah.
But you know what? They were here through it all.
Yep.
And then when they win, they get to, you know, ride the Clydesdale with their dog, drinking beers, and everybody effing loves them.
Yeah.
Almost dropped an F-bomb.
So I
Stopped
really
myself.
hope for their sakes
Oh,
in
yeah.
particular that this team turns the corner because they've been through some stuff.
I mean, think about how long we've been doing this. And like it goes back to with Sanheim 2014, that's Sons of Penn.
Yeah.
Like that's you guys coming into Dave Katai's dad's attic to guest on our show to talk about these dudes. They have been around a long freaking time. I badly would like it for them. It would be really, really cool. All right. We have one more break to get to, and then we will finish up the show with Super Chats. If you're someone's phone's ringing. If your home needs a little TLC or you're dreaming of that next big vacation, hey, maybe you want to come to Anaheim with us. Listen up, because TrueMark Financial's HELOC Select just got even better. Rates just dropped, making it more affordable to put your home's equity to work for you. Maybe you need a new kitchen, some big repairs, or you just want to knock out some debt. Well, with HELOC Select, you can access all your cash at once, or just when you need it, you have total flexibility like a great game plan. So make it happen today. Visit one of TrueMark's 24 branches. Or head to TrueMark.com/PHLY and get in the game today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender, NMLS number 404938. And while we're here, why don't I tell you about our friends at Game Time, baby? Because you know I am a big fan of the Game Time app. It is my absolute favorite secondary ticket marketplace because it's super easy to use. And with the Game Time guarantee, it means you can trust 100% authentic tickets on time and in the best places. You get the panoramic seat view, so there's never any surprises. You get to the game, you're sitting behind the foul pole or something like that. Will never happen with Game Time because you see it before you get there. And listen, it's hockey season. We all want to get to the games, but we want some great deals. Well, you get the fees are included, so you see what you're paying right up front with the all-in pricing. You get the zone deals. You can save even more when you choose a section and let Game Time actually choose the seats for you. And you have the low price guarantee, where Game Time will credit you 100% of the difference if you find tickets in the same section and row for less. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PHLY for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. I just love saying today like that.
Today.
How many super chats do we have, Bryn? 2. All right, so we can do some Zegras
Yeah,
first.
let's talk some Trevor Zegras.
And also hit the
Let's
like
go.
button. 146. Let's go. Come on.
Okay, we blasted past 100, but
You're
let's get
upset
close. Come on,
with
200.
Charlie.
200 likes.
Charlie wrote a great article about Trevor Zegras and this wing center hybrid thing he's doing right now, and we're gonna talk about that. But first, like, we were all curious how Rick Tocchet and Zegras would get along. Now, Tocchet is not the taskmaster that Tortorella or Greg Cronin, but he wants big physical dudes, as does pretty much every coach in the league.
He has old school tendencies, to be sure.
As does, again, every coach in the league. If given the choice, wants a big physical guy over a small skilled guy. Now, they want the big physical guys to be good, for the most part.
Want the big physical guys to also be skilled guys.
Yeah, but like, Zegras is not most coaches' dream #1 center or whatever. I think Zegras has done a pretty tremendous job of endearing himself to the coach with some of his play thus far. I looked it up. He's only been on the ice for 1 goal against this year, and it was the goal I'm calling the double doe from the Winnipeg game, where Brink has a chance to clear it, and it just bounces away from him, and then they work it back around, and it hits 2 things before it just sits in the crease for what was it, Morgan Barron to just kind of poke in. Like,
hey, I don't even think it did. I think it bounced off what? Bounced off Yinning,
and then Bud.
Yinning and Cates.
Yeah.
I thought it just sat in the crease and Barron.
No, I think it bounced right in off of Cates, I think.
Even
if I remember
worse.
correctly. Yeah,
Like,
it was a total luck
That's
goal.
the only goal he's been on the ice for, and I think he's worked hard. He's not like, okay, I'm doing this wing center hybrid thing. He's not complaining about his role or anything. And I think he's endeared himself to the coach a little bit, because Rick Tocchet had this to say about his relationship with Trevor Zegras.
I mean, I pick his brain. He's a smart kid, but he's what I like about him. He knows there's more. Like he texted me last night. I want to watch some video with you. Like he wants it. Like you can tell. So because he feels there's plays out there that he can make even more, and I agree with him. But it's like I said, you just chip away.
5-game assist streak, 5 points in 6 games, 2 on the power play, 3 at even strength. He's producing, and he's still texting the coach, yo, let's watch some film, and let's figure out what other plays I can be making, what other responsibilities I am shirking or could be doing better at, or whatever it is. He is showing basically that the narrative about him, if it was true, it no longer is, or he's been misrepresented by a coach in an organization that never really wanted him in the first place. He's working hard, and he's coachable, and I don't know what else you can ask for from the guy.
Yeah, you know what immediately popped in my head when I heard this, when Tocchet said this? We were all there on the second day of the draft, and we interviewed Rick Tocchet. And I forget if it was your question or Kelly's question, but one of us asked him, it seems like you have really good relationships with star players, guys like Sidney Crosby, and Hughes, and Phil Kessel. They swear by you. What distinguishes a star player? How do you handle the star players well? And he said, one thing is you always got to be ready to respond to their texts. That Sidney Crosby, I'll be eating dinner, I'll be eating a steak, and I'll get a text from Sidney Crosby who's watching a game on television. He's like, did you see that play that San Jose did? And he's like, and I got to watch it and be ready the next morning to be able to talk intelligently with Sidney Crosby about that play. And when he was talking about Zegras, look, Trevor Zegras isn't Sidney Crosby, but Trevor Zegras is doing the thing that Rick Tocchet straight up told us, separate the good players from the great players. And that's a really encouraging thought.
It absolutely is. And that's where we get to the wing center discussion. And if you want to read all about what this team is doing, you got to check it out at allphly.com. And right now is the time to do it. Become a diehard, 55% off for our boy BG.
Yeah.
BG is back, and because of it, you can get a diehard membership 55% off. Check it out at allphly.com. But this wing center hybrid thing, Tocchet addressed it, and he said, he's doing this hybrid thing. And the first quote, and he follows it up with something good, but the first quote from Zegras, I'm not sure. I don't really know what that means. Oh, I love this guy. He's such a hockey player.
Same.
Just such a hockey player. Like, I don't know, man. I play hockey, not school.
Yeah.
But then follows it up like, you can find yourself down low in situations if you're the first guy back, but I'm not really sure what he means, because Christian Dvorak usually takes the faceoffs, but I can play center too when I'm the first guy back. I can switch with him and all that stuff. So Charlie dug into it. Charlie really took a look at what this hybrid idea is, because first game of the year, Zegras is playing center. And then they have him with Dvorak, and it's all right. Is he the center? Is he the wing? Dvorak's taking all the faceoffs. Are they alternating responsibilities? And right away it was no. Dvorak is playing center and Zegras is playing wing.
Yeah.
And since then, Charlie, it feels like that's not the case. It actually is a hybrid.
It is a hybrid. And look, there's a natural hybrid situation in the defensive zone for anybody. You know, there are times when I was going back through tape, there were times when Owen Tippett was functionally playing center in the D zone because he happened to be the low man and it didn't make sense at the time for them to switch. And it's
He's
just
real
like,
fast.
well, he's there. So I guess that's his role because that's just the way the play went. But it does seem like more than usual, Zegras is playing the center position. And what it seems like is really going on here at its core is it's less, because as you mentioned, when I asked Zegras about it, Zegras was like, well, I don't really know what he meant about that. It seems like this is less about what Tocchet is telling Zegras and more about what Tocchet is telling Dvorak. And he is telling Dvorak, look, there are going to be times where Zegras is going to end up down low. And normally, as the center, Dvorak might be like, oh, let's do a switch so I can get back to my spot.
When we have a chance to rotate, like, yeah, man, you're first one back.
Yeah.
You're down there.
For like 5 seconds.
When the puck's on the far side, I'm coming back down. You get up to that wing.
Exactly. And basically, Tocchet told Dvorak, in those situations, just let Trevor be center. Let him be center. Let him do his thing. Take the wing spot. And then maybe eventually, 30 seconds down the road, you might switch back. But let him play center more than you normally would for Owen Tippett. Whereas if Tippett's down low, look, Tippett can handle it for a little bit. But Dvorak's going to want to take that role as quickly as possible. It seems like Tocchet's made it clear to Dvorak that, look, like, there are going to be times that Zegras is going to be the center. Just let him do it. Let him be center because we want him to get the reps. We want him to at least be getting some experience in that center role in this system. So the way it ends up shaping out about on average, at least in the 2 games where they were really doing this hybrid thing, probably about 33% of the time, Zegras is playing the center role, which certainly isn't 100. It's not all the time, but he is getting some reps at center in the here and now, even though he is nominally the wing.
I hate this.
Okay.
Here's the thing. We went into this season saying, we got to see if Trevor Zegras can be a center in this league. We got to see. We got to know. We got to make sure he can do it because a lot hangs on him being a good center in the NHL. We had 1 game. And then they were like, you know what? Nah. Too fast. It just seems like too, like, why are we giving up on it already, fam? Like, why can't we just let him be the center? If you want Dvorak on his wing and he takes faceoffs, okay, whatever. If it's an important faceoff, let Dvorak take it. That's fine. There's not something in the rule book that says the center has to take the faceoffs, right? Like, can anybody take
anybody
the
can.
faceoffs?
Giroux took a ton of faceoffs when he was on the line.
Exactly. So I just don't understand why. And this goes back, my overarching thing where we decided that winning the games is more important than developing the talent. Tocchet has decided that Trevor Zegras right now, maybe not an NHL center. All right, cool, but we got to make him one, dude. So, like, you got to let him do it. And 33% of the time, not enough, I think, to get him there. And it's...
Yeah, and it's fair.
That's in your article. Like, is
Yeah.
this ideal? Probably not.
Probably not. No, like, if you're going to teach someone to excel at center, because it's not like he needs to be taught how to play center. He played center his first couple years in Anaheim.
Yeah.
Played center his entire career. Like, he knows how to do it. The thing is that they don't think he does it well enough. So the idea is like, okay, well, we got to teach him to be good at it. We got to teach him how to be better at faceoffs. We got to teach him how to be a more effective player down low in puck battles, serving as that support outlet for breakouts. 33% of the time is better than 0, but it's not 100% of the time, which I think is what probably the majority of the fans want. What this really boils down to, and Kelly, you hit the nail on the head, Tocchet thinks that playing Zegras at center almost exclusively makes it less likely the Flyers are going to win games. And he wants the Flyers to win games, so he has identified that, yeah, Zegras is going to play the wing. And I guess this is just the push-pull of fans look at this team and they say, okay, this team probably best case scenario.
We're going to overtime, by the way.
Going to overtime.
Go to allphly.com to keep watching.
But that best case scenario, the Flyers have a ceiling of like they make the playoffs and they lose in round 1. So for fans, their primary focus here is how do we get the team to the point where they are contending for cups? And they look at it as, well, probably the best way to increase our odds that way would be to develop Trevor Zegras as a center. He sticks at center and then becomes an 80-point-a-year 1C, 2C, top 6 center. That's what fans are thinking of, and I totally get that. Fans should be thinking that because they want their team to win a championship. Rick Tocchet is looking at it as, I'm a head coach. My job is to win games, not only because that's what I'm primarily being paid to do, but also because if I don't win games, there's a good chance I won't be the head coach forever.
Fair.
So it's competing incentives.
But like, what is Danny Briere thinking of this? Like, you didn't bring Trevor Zegras in here to just like be a good wing and then maybe sometimes take a face off. Like, that's not what we got him for.
I am going to choose to believe for now that this is, if not an organizational decision, because the lineup is the coach's purview.
Yes.
Rick Tocchet has at least laid out a plan. Like, the best way to make him a center and have it stick and work is to do it this way and gradually build upon the responsibility. Now, you know what camp I'm in. I said, we have him under contract for this year. Let us give him 82 games at center and see how the hell it goes.
See how it goes.
They appear to be doing something different, and it's not how I would like to see it done, but I am going, because things are going fairly well right now, I am going to lay out this scenario for you, Kelly.
Okay.
Would you rather he is at center, his wings are Dvorak and whoever the hell else they decide can help make up for his defensive deficiencies because their center isn't very good defensively, at least in their mind, or he's hybrid wing center, Dvorak and Mish? Both not an option.
Why not?
Because this is my scenario, and I know what you would choose if it was. Ice cream and pizza?
Yeah. Of course. Obviously.
Yes.
Give me all the fun things at the same time.
I think if this is how I'm going to get him with Mish, I can live with it.
If the hybrid was, 67% Zegras center and 33% Dvorak center, I'd be more on board because we'd be having more of the development thing happening than we're getting right now. If he's going to be playing center like this little amount of time, give me Michkov and let's have fun. But like, right, I mean, I understand that Rick Tocchet's job is to win games, but like organizationally, they have to be thinking what we're thinking. We want this to be a contender. We don't want to trip our way into the first round and then lose to Carolina in 4. Like, what's the point of that?
It is very much like what they've said out loud. Yeah.
Right, here's the thing, like, would making the playoffs this year be fun? Yeah, it would be fun. And they can probably do it if a lot of things go right. But that's like the bonus fun.
Sure.
The real fun is these players getting better.
Yeah. And I think, going back to what you said, Bill, about I have to believe that there's a plan that Tocchet has laid out a like developmental plan to make Trevor Zegras center. I don't know if that's true.
Cool.
All right.
But here's why I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
I think that you're taking the wrong framing here. What I think is going on, and I think this speaks to Kelly, what you're saying about like, well, the organization has to step in. I think this is kind of that, where if Rick Tocchet had his way, Trevor Zegras would be on the wing and not getting a single rep at center.
Third line left wing.
And it would just be like, yeah, he's a point scorer who's going to be on the wing and he's the winger and I don't want to be bothered with this center crap. I think the reason why he's getting 33% of the reps is because Danny Briere is like, all right, I get it. You don't want this guy at center, but you got to do it sometimes because the organizational plan is to have him at center. That's the hope. I think this is less Tocchet having this big plan to develop him at center and more that this is a compromise. Yeah. This is a compromise.
It's like, he gave you these quotes so you could do this story so that Danny Briere could read it and be like, all right, he's playing him at center.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're actually
Yes,
talking.
yes.
I don't think
Yes.
this is like Tocchet trying to
No,
pull the wool over
I-
the eyes of Danny, but I bet it's more Tocchet compromising a bit rather than Tocchet being like, oh, I have this Machiavellian plan to turn him into a center, and this is just part one
We're
of 7.
We're 6 games in. If the coach is trying to fool the GM, we're in trouble.
That's very true.
I just don't. I mean, we're only 6 games in,
Yeah.
so whatever. I don't think Rick Tocchet has any interest in developing anybody. I think he just wants to win hockey games.
I think it's more nuanced than that. I think Tocchet's belief is probably that us winning games will help develop guys. That
You did say that yesterday.
by putting the focus on winning, that guys are going to naturally develop better because we're trying to win games. So I think that would be how Tocchet would probably respond to that.
All right, let's hit those super chats. We have 3 now. All right, from JH. 2 days in a row with the full gang. Wow.
Wow. Is that a like wow, or is that a wow?
It's Owen Tippett. Owen Tippett. It's Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson. And Owen Wilson.
We have a fun week just in terms of scheduling because we have the full gang for these 2 non-game day shows, and then pre and post tomorrow. Me and Charlie in studio.
Yeah, I'm not in Ottawa.
Yeah, he's not in Ottawa. He is in fact here. This is not a hologram. How cool would it be if we had holograms?
That'd be great.
Very
All right. Next one from D.A. Urson, man.
Change his name.
So is Sanheim an actual 1D now? If not, then first
He's
pair.
definitely a first pair.
He's definitely first pair.
100%.
I would not like.
He's a 1D on this team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he is obviously nominally the one defenseman by the definition of first defenseman. There's 32 of them in the league.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's pretty clear unless you are, one of these teams with Norris contender and then guy who's just as good as Sanheim on your first pair, he's a first pair guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
absolutely.
obviously still want someone better than him. That would be really cool. But they have a decent enough foundation. It is very much, I don't want to compare him to Kimmo Timonen because Kimmo Timonen was awesome and he's one of my favorite players ever. But very much like, 08 had him as the one. And then in 2010, we got Chris Pronger and we went from losing in 6 in the 3rd round to getting to the cup final. That's the difference.
I think he's on the same plane as like a Devin Tays.
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
look, Devin Tays, really good defenseman. Every team in the league would want him as a top pair defenseman. But on Colorado, he's the number 2, and that's perfect. Could he be the number 1 on teams? Sure, but that team probably isn't winning a Stanley Cup.
And you put him with Cale Makar, and it's like, oh, look how little he has to do, and he's awesome at all of it. It's a really good pair. All right, from what the hell does this say?
Nada Nul Siref?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm sorry if that's your real name. I'm illiterate.
It's hard to tell where like the
where you would
breaks are.
stop, right?
Which Flyer will be the next to score a hat trick, and why will it be against the Penguins next
They
week?
play the Penguins next week.
Oh, that's good. The Penguins are like winning games.
They're winning games, and their fans are big
They
mad.
gotta be furious, man.
Fans are real mad about it.
Listen,
Been
can
there.
they do it 2 years in a row with it? Like, if the Penguins are 10th and win the lottery, like Gary Bettman might be in physical danger. Like,
I'm coming for
I'm
him.
threatening him. That's not me threatening him. It's just a discussion of what
just the
could
reality.
potentially happen.
Parody.
Like, how, like, yeah, man, people are going to climb the greased poles even if you grease them if we win a championship.
That's true.
Just one of those things.
Yeah.
Who will be,
Matvei Michkov. Coming on strong.
That would be cool if
Doesn't-
Michkov breaks out of the early season slump
doesn't
with his first hat trick.
score all of our hat tricks? I feel like it's going to be Sean Couturier because he always scores the hat tricks.
That's true.
He's like the guy who scores hat tricks for this team. You know what? Owen Tippett against the Pens.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. I'm gonna go Michkov. I like the idea of
Breaking out with
he
3.
explodes
Yes.
with the hat trick.
I like
Against
that
that
too.
stupid team that we all
Against
hate.
that stupid team.
Yeah.
That would be cool if it was the Pens, though. All right, another one here from JH. It's jubilation, Charlie.
All right.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, and finally from D.A. Harrison, man, I love that we have, this is great.
Amazing.
Got to give my boy Sammy some confidence. Do we know who it's going to be tomorrow?
We do
Did
not
they
know
say?
yet. Well, they didn't practice today.
They didn't
so
practice.
we don't know.
Oh, right. It's Wednesday. We just talked about this. All right.
We'll find out tomorrow when we
Let it
skate.
stand.
And when, because I would assume that the only person up in Ottawa is probably Jackie. I don't think any of the other writers are traveling. So Jackie will find out tomorrow morning. When she's up in
Predictions?
Ottawa.
Kelly?
Vladar.
Harrison or Vladar?
Vladar.
I'm going to guess Harrison.
All right, I'm going to say Vladar.
Okay.
And that is all the time we have for you on PHLY Flyers today. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't already, you got to hit that subscribe button. Follow us right here on the YouTube page. We are over 51K on our way to 100,000.
And we broke 200 likes.
And we
Good
broke
job, gang.
200. Way to go.
Great
Slow
work.
start like Matvey Michkov.
Exactly.
By the end, you get the numbers.
Gonna get there.
That's what you like to see. All right. Make sure you're following us on all the socials. We're at PHLY_Flyers on Twitter. And follow the podcast wherever you get those. Just search PHLY Flyers. Go to BroadStreetHockey.com as well. All right. I am Bill Matz. That is Charlie O'Connor. That is Kelly Hinkle. Thank you to Brenna. Be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.